Switching it back. Okay, we're back. All right, we're good. Okay, kind of rearranged the setup. Didn't really care for it. All right, so let's get right into it. Today is Wednesday, day number 3 of us working on passing our trading combine account. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I think I shouldn't be covering up too much. Um, yeah, so day number 3 of our trading combine. We are currently up about $1,200 on our account. We're down here at 51,194, about just shy of $1,200. So we about to have $1,800 left before we pass the combine account. Um, Quick overview from yesterday. We did take a nice little long position from the previous. We had an opportunity present itself. We took it. Um, Yesterday was kind of how I predicted. I was suspecting that we were going to chop up and down quite a bit for a while, and that's kind of what it did. We didn't really fully get anything until aftermarket. So this was. Let me hide all my drawings real quick. Hide. So this was our day yesterday. So we started over here, kind of chopped up and down here, got a small breakout, and quickly retraced all the way back down, came back in, and then we closed right here on this big green candle, and then later on aftermarket it still kind of climbed a little bit longer, but I wouldn't say. I mean, I guess you could say it did break out of the range. It was a very light breakout. Um, but again, yesterday I knew going in that it was going to be kind of a range bound day because we had previously had that nice solid bullish day that where it just kept going up. So typically on days like that, it's very rare to have it 2 days in a row. Um, so for us to range is kind of par for the course. Is what we expected. Um, so I could have held the position. Technically, yesterday, I never would have been stopped out per se, but because it never would have hit my $250 stop loss. So overall, that was a good trade. We could have just left it, but as far as risk reward and everything goes, I think the most I got up to was 55.61, and that was probably like that would have profited me like 700, $800. Um, so could I have left it? Yeah. So hindsight 2020, it's kind of like one of those things. Like, I mean, technically, if it never hits your stop loss, there's not really a reason to close it, especially if you already set your defined risk. Because that means that the trade's still going in your favor. It just may not be going as fast as you expected. Um, but it is what it is. We took a little bit of profit, called it a day, and walked away from the screen. Uh, Today is Juneteenth, so it's gonna be a half day. Technically the markets are closed, but futures are open till 12 o'clock, I believe. So we do have a little bit of time to trade. We can't really expect too much. It's probably gonna be pretty rangy all day, just like it was yesterday. Just because the volume's probably gonna be not so heavy. Um, like literally this fifth 5 minute candle has 860, less than 1,000 volume. So there's like going to be very, very low volume. Um, so we're going to have to just it's almost like today's definitely going to be a day where it's like you see green, take green, and see if we can scalp a couple of decent trades and get us a couple dollars up in the green. So, I know I went over this before. So next up, what we're gonna do? It's currently 8:40. We are going to do our pre-market analysis again. I'm gonna start fresh. So again, if anybody's watching these back to back to back, you're kind of seeing like my normal uh, routine. So we're going to be conducting our pre-market analysis, just to show you guys what I do to prepare for the week. And as the week goes on, I don't do this every single day, but it's more or less like throughout the week, it's going to get changed up just because based on new data that presents itself. So I'm gonna delete all of my drawings, so you guys see straight from like straight fresh. Um, Let's see. So we need to do. So I usually start from the daily time frame, and this is always like once I do this on the beginning of the week, it basically just gives me an idea of what we were. Well, excuse me. Once we get on the daily, like the daily time frame, just gives me a general idea of where everything's going. Um, so first thing I notice, we have our biggest bounce down here at the low of 49.6350. So I'll put a nice little lot level of support 63.50. See if it's gonna be 62.50. We'll adjust it. And I like to make sure to go in here and actually put the right numbers on here. Just because I'd rather be precise, take my time, be precise. Um, Even though like these levels are can vary, like is it gonna come directly and hit perfectly at this number? Probably not. It could go in between or go slightly above or slightly below. We're gonna take this, make this a yellow line. There's no really rhyme or reason around my colors of my lines. It's just kind of what I've gone with. There's nothing behind it. Um, so taking a look at it now. So originally, this was kind of this level right here, 68.25, was slowly acting as a level of resistance before it did break out. I think, was it 75? 68.25, 68, 68, 68, 25. Oh, missed it. So 68.25. So the reason I put a line here is because it's kind of like this was like a little range temporarily. I wouldn't really consider this a range only because it only went up once, came down, went back up, and basically broke out. This is like a nice little cup and handle pattern, kind of. But that's just like in a way that was like the neckline almost for this to break out. Um, So that could be like a little level of support that we could see because this was a previous resistance. It technically hasn't been retested yet. So we broke out of resistance and haven't retested. It Retesting isn't always going to happen, but just some. It's a good thing to know, like in the back of our mind, like down the road as we get more and more data. Like, okay, is this going to come retest this line? It's good to know what levels we have available. And now that we're looking at this, I'm gonna I'm gonna put a gap here. So between this day and this day, so I'm gonna replace this level of support slash resistance with a gap because if you guys see between the 10th and the 11th, there's a nice gap between where things closed and where things open and where things oh like opened here. There's a big gap there. So just gonna again, these are just the more you can mark, I mean, you don't want to get this thing too congested, but the more kind of data you can do, the more you can analyze, the better idea you have of what's going on, the better. Because see, so we close here, so we have a gap that needs to close here. So we're gonna extend this out to the right. We don't really need to go to the left, but I guess we could. Um, Change this to yellow. So in my mind, I guess in the yellow, it's kind of like always means like some type of level of support or resistance. Um, we're gonna put this in here, text. just as a reminder, gap. I want to put daily gap. And so, obviously, since we're labeling it daily gap, that just basically is saying a reminder that, like, hey, there is a gap down here that has not been filled. If it did get filled, we would have already, like, we wouldn't be labeling it a gap. So we're gonna leave that there. So this gap can actually kind of be, it could be treated as a level of support and like right now. So I think at some point during the week or maybe even next week, at some point we're going to see this thing come back down into this range to be able to fill it. Because it's kind of weird. I don't know why there's that big of a gap there between those days, and I'm surprised it didn't fill. Um, but that's where we're at now. That's what we're looking at for this one. And then the other thing we want to look at is I like to get an idea of the overall trend. So as of our most recent trend change would be from here. So we get an array, start from the bottom here, and basically draw a little trend line here. I don't necessarily trade off the trend line. I more or less use it to give me I like, again, to give me an idea like what the current trend is. This is at 63.50. So I know right now that we are in an uptrend. Previously, like if we were to go here, our that trend would have been moving down, so we've been in a downtrend. Right now, we're obviously in a nice uptrend. That's a good thing to kind of pay attention to because if this decides to break below the trend line, then we know, hey, well, there's a chance we could be getting a reversal and we could be getting a new trend. So I'm going to put these low 205.50. I don't know if this is oh yeah, okay, 205.50. So there's our trend. And that's on the daily time frame. So that's pretty much it for us. Now, so we have a nice level of support that we can see. We have a very long, further down bounce point down here, very strong level of support. And this is all like, and as you go throughout the days, these things kind of stay in stone. And then basically, if the market tries to goes to them, you already have that information. You know, like you'll know. So it may not be in for like months before these things come relevant, but at least you know once it comes in there that you have something there. So now to get kind of more on our day-to-day trading, I personally like to do this. So yesterday was the 18th, today's the 19th. I like to take, again, this is on the daily time frame. I like to get my range for the day, the daily range. So yesterday, this was our range. Top end 62.75. Bottom end was 41.50. And this one we'll change the color of it. We'll change it to green, green, and then green. We don't even have it. Now this one, I do like to put in a midline just so we have an idea where that is. So right now we closed here. So we didn't open with much of a gap. Um, so that's good. But based on what this is looking like, so we had a nice we broke out of this level. These were the previous highs. It bounced off, retracted up, and now we finally got a clean breakout. And yesterday was a continuation of it, and then today we could either see this thing because it's Juneteenth and it's limited trading hours. We're probably gonna see this like a little doji candle or a shooting star. Um, so it may not. I don't think we're gonna see too much of a too many big moves today. So kind of what we're looking at. But there's our daily range. So we know from yesterday, that's the range of what the market moved. I found that sometimes like these, it's good to know these things because they can sometimes act as like daily or intraday levels of support and resistance. So got that down there, got our daily range, and now gonna go check it out. I always like to work my way down, go down to 4 hour, just kind of see if there's anything extra I can see. Oh, I forgot one more thing. So one thing to notate. So on the daily time frame, we are in overbought territory. MACD is still quite above everything. Um, and then the it's been a while since we've retested the moving average. We're having quite a big distance between it. Um, but as of right now, there's not really any signs on the daily time frame for anything to come down per se. Looks like we're on just a nice little gradual upside trend. So uh, that's something we can kind of notate again. So our bias is definitely long. Now we go down to the 4 hour time frame, see if we see anything that's worthwhile. Again, we have this nice little gap between these two. We do have a nice little consolidation right here. So we could see this would be a good zone that we could see things come back into. So, and basically these zones, in a sense, are like they are support because a lot of people put like support and resistance lines, but in all reality, they're zones. They're not really like it's very rare for something to come perfectly to a line that you set. I mean, it does happen, but it's very, very uncommon. So I'm gonna make this yellow. That's gonna be our trend. Is our yellows, our support and resistance stuff. So basically, just covering this little consolidation zone. So it gives me an idea that there is a level of support down here. I don't know if I like the yellow. I think we might change it to something else. Let's try blue. I like blue. We're making an executive decision right now. Change all of our zones to blue. All right. And the fact that we're on the 4 hour time frame, that just gives us a little bit more validity to it. Uh, so we know that this is definitely a zone that we could see it come back to and probably chop around in. High 5905, 5950, 50950, 950, and then we got this one at the low, 8975. No, 0.75. All right, so we got that zone in there. So now again, looking being on the higher time frames, we know that these are like more longer term movements. So as we work our way down, we'll get into more like the intraday stuff. But again, these are just kind of good things to know that to on as far these are good things to know. Like if price starts going a certain way, we have a rhyme or a reason for it. Also, RSI is overbought. Looks like this one on the MACD is actually is it crossed down. So that would if you're kind of like a longer term trader, this would be a good signal for a short because number one, we're at all time highs. We got a MACD cross down, meaning there's about to be some momentum to sell off, and then we also have our RSI and overbought. So those are three good signals that we could see this thing turn around from the 4 hour. How much it's going to do it, that's kind of what we have to determine ourselves. Right now, I know we're in this little zone or previous day range from yesterday, um, but that's a good thing to notate. So we could see a sell off. That's a good thing. That's like a check mark that says, hey, we could going short could be a good option for the day. So go further down to the 1 hour, and then what we will see, same thing. We had this little consolidation. We did get a little drippage out of here, but then eventually just shot right up out of here. If we're going on 1 hour, Um, so we do have a nice little like kind of not really consolidation. It was like kind of like a flag pattern. Came up, chopped around, and shot back up again. So we could see that as a nice level, but I don't think it's going to be too relevant right now. So we'll leave it be. Right now, we're gonna have to work our way down to see what we're doing today. I am gonna set a level at the top here, kind of give us an idea. We got some resistance at the top. All-time high is here. Yeah, 67. So that's the 567 is our absolute highest that we've gone so far. It looks like it should act as a nice little level of resistance for the temporarily until we get enough volume in buyers to break out of it. But based on yesterday, we kind of had this little came up, swooped down, created a level support down at the bottom, and then basically just gradually moved itself up, created a slightly new high, and now we're just kind of just chilling right here. Um, RSI starting to come down. Let's see what MACD looks like. MACD already did cross down and just gradually coming down. So again, another reason for this, we could possibly see some short action today. But okay, so now we're on the 30 minute. We know the moving average down here at 55. Excuse me, at 58.39. We're just chilling at VWAP. Now we're getting closer into like what we could try to make some trades, take some trades. Things are moving down, and then let's go look at the 15 minute. So we are sitting right in between the yesterday's zone and let's see. So it looks like we do have some MACD is below, RSI is kind of slow coming down, so momentum's falling. So basically on the 15-minute time frame, looks like we're pretty much sitting at VWAP. Again, this is acting as a level of resistance. So honestly, I think shorts might be kind of like the play today. Is it going to drastically drop out? I don't think so. I just don't think there's enough time for us to really make drastic moves. And again, the volume's so light today is just not, probably not, I can't imagine things going too crazy. But it's something we need to notate is at 62 is our 15-minute moving average. So that'll be a nice little level of support. If it breaks that level of support, or breaks the moving average, then obviously we have a chance that this thing could come down pretty drastically. And that's why we have the midline from yesterday's range. So that the midline would kind of be our target price as far our take profit price, our target zone, I guess you could say. Because you don't necessarily want to play. I mean, if it goes all the way down, great. That would be kind of like a in the moment decision. Like if we're at the midline, does it look like it's going to bounce right back up, or is it going to continue falling down? So now we'll go down to the 5 minute time frame. Looks like we are kind of just slowly losing momentum. MACD is well below not well below, but cross down, and we have a crossover there over the midline. So downside is probably more favorable for today. Just can't get too crazy. This does look pretty good. Looks like we have a setup here. Came up, touched, came up, touched, pull back, touched, pull back again, touched, pull back again, touched, tried to go higher, couldn't, tried to go higher, couldn't, tried to go higher. So we've had multiple attempts to try to break up out of this zone. So I don't think it's highly unlikely it's going to happen. We did have a nice little break below the moving average on the 5 minute, then it retested. So we probably could be looking for a short opportunity here. And basically playing down to VWAP and uh, this moving average down here. The volume is so low. It's insane. There's 631 right here, and this candle's almost closed. So, hopefully that kind of makes sense of, I guess, my thought process when it comes to looking at the market before we trade. Is it all necessary? Maybe, maybe not, but it's just, again, it's just a routine that I like to do. Gives me a top-down view of what the market's doing. So that's just what I do. It works for me. Everybody's got to find their own thing that works for them. And as you guys, just to kind of go further in, so we did our pre-market analysis. You had an idea what's going on. Again, I think today's going to be kind of, again, just like this the whole day, just choppy, choppy, choppy. Um, so not nothing too crazy, but I guess I could go into a little bit about, oh, another thing I didn't do. So sometimes I like to use the volume point of control. So I like to use this sometimes to kind of give me an idea of where the point of control is, which is basically where price likes to stay at. It's kind of like where a lot of volume is involved. This thing just dropped off. Um, so that gives you an idea like where the most interest is, where the most volume picks up is around this level. So as you get to further levels, more like less volume, less people will be involved. So as you can see, our volume point of control is pretty much right in the center of this consolidation. That's where basically a lot of price is being exchanged. So as long as we're kind of right here, there's really not much. Again, we're probably basically just going to be playing a range here. That's just some, I like to hide it. I don't like to keep that on there, but just a good thing to know. It's at 55.64. And as far as indicators goes, I like to use a 50 moving average, 50 MA, 200 EMA, VWAP, and then I use RSI and I use the MACD. Those are my indicators that I use. I like to use them to kind of tell me a story and give me an idea. They're not all going to align perfectly every single time, but again, the clearer picture I could have, the better. So we are 30 minutes into the market. Let's see, where do we open? We open right here. So since we opened, we basically hit this top, kind of worked our way down. Um, like I said, if we may just be seeing a range day. So, I mean, basically right now, our range is pretty much, let's see from, oh, that's another thing we could do is mark our pre-market high and lows, which kind of all over here. We're basically in this range. So, yep, we're going to make another box because that's how we can manage what we're doing here. So this is kind of our range that we're trading in right now. We'll give ourselves a midline. I think our range. So our range is a little bit tighter. It's probably more like here to here. Those are wicks, so we're not going to be too crazy about those. So that's kind of more or less our range right now. So if we are going to be range bound today, I mean it's going to be a scalper's paradise. We're basically just going to buy at the or sell at the top, buy at the bottoms, or sell at the top, sell at midline, buy at the bottom, sell at midline, and just keep scalping away some profits. That is if we're just going to sit here and range all day.
Now connected to Braden's iPhone.
See if this thing breaks up out of here. So this would be like a good spot for a long, a cheap long. If we're like again, if we are range bound, the only thing is if it breaks out of here, obviously we're wrong. But falling out of here, volume is just so low that it's just hard to. It don't even feel like life. They want to believe in me religiously. religiously. This is just such a tight range. If it kind of pushes back down this line, I think we'll take a long. Again, that's us assuming or playing the fact that we're in a range. So we get down here, we'll go long, expecting it to kind of make its move back up to the midline here. Again, these are going to be, I mean, I wouldn't say super quick trades, but they're just like it's not going to be crazy. To the pictures, I'm a rock star, living that car, the suitcase. Our opening range is so tight. Like you can literally see a high a day, low a day. Literally like 8 points worth of 8 points of difference here. I think I don't care. Maverick, what are you doing, buddy? No. I was thought you would. Put one in there. We'll put one in there. So basically, if it wicks down and touches that line, we should be we'll be in. We'll be in long. See if we get filled. Yep, there we go. See what this thing does. We'll start with one. Again, if it keeps ranging, then we might get a little bit more aggressive, make trade a little bit more, put a little more contracts on. Just depends. Wanna fall in love. Again, very, very low volume. Not much going on here. All right, so we're in on two contracts. We'll just see how this goes. Again, kind of expecting it to wick up. It could not. We could lose it. It's fine. We'll put it down there. That's basically a $162 loser if it hits down there. That's fine. Like I said it's such slow volume that it's not going to be. I mean, if it hits it, it hits it. But we might even think about buying another one at that at the 62. Just see what happens. What I don't like is how much this is like lagging on me. But I guess that's why we have our stop loss there. Be on my way. We're gonna go in another one, see if it'll fill in. I will say we are getting a little bit more risky here, but like I said, this is we're keeping it tight because it's not the volatility isn't super crazy, so we can kind of manage our risk a little bit if things go a little bit against us. So right now, if it hits here, well, if it hits down here, it'll basically be a 212. So we're buying. So when you stop sell 61.50. So that's a $212 loss. We can stomach that one. So if this does work its way back up to like stay in the range, then it'll be a good trade. But and again, the only reason we're doing this is because there's not a lot of volume, so there's not going to be a crazy amount of like liquidity grabs. Could it happen? Yeah, but there's just not enough volume for us to like really for it to wipe us out super quickly and lose a bunch of money very fast. So look at that. Touched it. Are we gonna break down? Like I said, we'll stand by it. If we lose $215, it's not a big deal. Basically, still staying within our rules. We went and touched the moving average really nicely. Um, let's see if we get a fourth one in here. Again, still managing our risk. Oh, didn't really. Okay, wait right back down. All right, let's see if we get filled for a fourth. There we go. So we're filled for a fourth, and now we're basically at 250 loss if we hits this right here.
Order filled.
All right. So now we're at a $250 max loss. So we're in 4 contracts. If it hits it, it hits it. But if not, if it does retrace back up to the like in the range, we'll be able to take a nice profit. See if we go for a fifth. Oh wait, we don't really want it to be a fifth. We want to be. We'll just let it be. We'll let it work. So we're in for a fifth.
Order filled.
So we'll put it back in there, same place. We're buying, so we need to sell 5. So we're full positioned in. If it hits this, it's a $287 loss. So full position. Again, being that today I know it's a lower volume day. Uh, that's the only reason why I would mess with this. We're actually going to change it to 75. We'll leave it at 50. We'll leave it there. $280. If we lose it, we lose it. I mean, obviously, our only hope right now is that the moving average creates access support, gets it, and we maybe turn around right here. If not, like I said, we defined our risk. Who knows? Maybe we get a little lucky. Like I said, we're playing the fact that this is in a range. If the range holds, then we should be good. But if it doesn't, then that's it's, there's days you are going to lose money. It's perfectly fine. But at least if you know how much you're going to lose, and it looks like we might get stopped out here. And it's flirting with it. We're probably going to get stopped out, which is fine. It has to hit 25 to. Oh, are we going to get lucky? Gonna get a little lucky, get a nice little pull back up. Maybe? Go! Give us a big greenie. Come on. Give us a big green push up to the moving averages. Honestly, if this does kind of fall through, I would actually be kind of surprised. The way things usually work is if it does stop out, it's gonna stop me out and it's gonna go straight back up. That's okay. Give us a nice greenie. Oh, uh, come on, catch a bid and let's go. Oh, we're gonna get stopped out. Wick up, wick up, wick. Yeah. Oh, we're about to get stopped out. We're gonna get stopped out. Come on, we're so close. Wick up, go green. Come on. This is where it's like so managing risk. I can tell you the stress levels are so much less because I know again like I preset my limit. If it hits it, it's like when you oh we're losing it. You're gonna get stopped out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't stop it. Come on, wake up. Oh, it did it. Dang it. All right, so we're down 300 bucks after everything. Wow. Look, wait, right up. All right, so our max loss per day is gonna be 500 bucks. So if we uh if we go back in here, our stop is gonna be very tight. Um, but we're gonna stick to our rules because 500 we can come back from a $500 losing day. It's harder to come back from a day when it's 1,000. So we are gonna play a little aggressive here. We're gonna go 3 contracts in. We're gonna buy market right in right here. So we're basically 200, so 260, 50, 75 is basically our max. So sell 3. Okay. So if it hits this stop, we're basically done for the day. Um, we're kind of just yeah. We're gonna try to get some of this money back. Hopefully it turns around here. If not, we're done for the day. $500 loss. Probably could have bid in here. I bought market, which obviously basically puts you in the red almost instantly. Probably wasn't the best move, but oh, let's see if it seeks out my stop. That stop is still pretty good too because it's down here at this very, very bottom part. Um, we'll see what it does. If this thing can wick up, at least come back up here and touch this, we can at least take some profits. Still stay in the game here a little bit. But again, the good thing is on this, the most money we're going to lose today is 500 bucks. We do that, whatever. Again, we can come back from it. We can come back tomorrow and Friday and try to make it all back. But the other thing is, you can't be afraid to, like, after taking a losing trade, you can't be afraid to keep trading. But again, the part that makes me feel good about this is also like we're managing our risk very well. We're doing our best to keep our risk at a minimum. Um, that way, when we have our winning days, we have are really good. Or if we have losing days, they're very minimal, and that at the end of the day is the biggest thing. So right now, we're kind of hoping this thing will catch a bid and start trying to move up a little bit. That'd be really nice. We're keeping it to 3 contracts right now. If this thing gets back up to VWAP 64, that'll basically put us back to break even. If it does go back up to the top end, we'll have a nice little profit for the day. So we might even let's see. 64 is our number. Uh-oh. So that's our levels. It's kind of like a 1-to-1. This would be like a 1-to-2 almost. And as a reminder, again, like this market's only open until 12, and it's Juneteenth. That's why the volume is extremely, extremely low. I mean, we literally have 238 people bidding in or trading right now. Yeah, we might get stopped. It's fine. It's all good. I would have liked to see one of these trades at least go somewhat green. I don't think either of our trades went green at all. We got to break even on this one, but it didn't go up. What I would love to see is this thing to go again, basically just redo its range. 66 is up here. We'll put it there. If it does go in like kind of range bound, then whatever. But we might get stopped out. Yeah, we're gonna get stopped out. Yep, there we go. All right, we're done for the day. This short trading session. Kind of figured that. And again, we went in. There's gonna be losing days. That's the thing. We have to understand that that is a thing. Hindsight, looking at all this, I don't think those were bad trades. It's just again, I was playing as if it was in a range. It looks like things are just kind of dying off. So it's not a huge deal. Honestly, if this thing keeps falling down all day, that's impressive. Which looks like it might be what it's doing. Our next level is down here at this 59. So, anyways, this is obviously gonna be a much shorter stream. We're right at the 1 hour mark. Um, but we are done trading for the day. We hit our max loss. We're at 497. I'm good with that. No reason to trade any longer. Right now we're up Day one we were up about a grand. Day two we're up like $275. It's okay to take losses. It does happen. It's literally part of trading. If you're not taking like if it no one's 100%. I lost my pen. I don't know where it is. Anyways, oh there it is. Ugh. So I mean yeah. I mean there's not much else to say other than the fact that yeah. So we made some money, lost some money. The biggest thing that I've learned or need to basically am trying to like reinforce is just again minimize. If you're gonna have a losing day, learn how to minimize it. We gave ourselves the first trade went red, we lost it, and we gave ourselves a second chance to do it. We lost it. After that, it's kind of like there's no reason to go for a third. Just call it a day. If the second trade did go green, then that might warrant you a reason to be like, okay, let's stay in this, try to keep moving. With the same idea in mind is like we don't want to lose all of our profits. Like for example, if this did come back up and we hit our profit target, say $300, put us back to break even, that would have been a reason for us. Okay, let's look for our next trade with the same idea in mind. It's like, hey, maximum loss we want to take here today fully is $500. So as long as we're in those parameters, we're still good to trade. And again, there's a lot of stuff. If it was range bound, then obviously we'd probably take more trades than normal. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Account balance is now at 50, about 50,700 dollars. So put ourselves a little bit of ways, but the good thing is, we can still basically get this account done in less than 2 days. So if we can profit, where's the camera? If we can profit that Thursday and Friday, then we'll be good. Or if, like, say, like if we have a really good day, either one, and can get like either $800 or $1,500 on one, that means we only have $800 left to go. Um, so watch this thing come back up. It's gonna go back in the range. Anyways, so we still are kind of in the realm that we could finish this out by the end of the week. Have a good trading day tomorrow. Have a good day trading day on Friday. Um, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy these videos. If you did, do me a huge favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.